Hey, how's it going? I'm Oliver. This is Dion, and this is Robi, and we're a Place of Very Strangers. We've just been on tour for a month and a half now or something, and it's been going really good. This has been, I think, maybe the best tour I feel like we've ever done. The band has been great, and the crowds have been super fun. We've met a bunch of really great people along the way. We went to Russia, and Belarus, and a bunch of Eastern European places we've never been before, like Slovenia, Macedonia, Hungary. We drove through Kosovo. What do you think, Robbie? You've been having a good time?
Yeah, it's been really easy. We have a tour manager this time.
First time ever, so
kind of weird, but in the sense that now there's less for us to do, but that's good. You know,
focus more on the music.
Focused.
So right now we're working on a new record. We started it in March, and we've just kind of been starting to kind of write at that time and trying to write this record as much as a whole band. And so that's kind of been like a new challenge. We've never actually done this with this band, is kind of have the whole band write the record. And I think that at this moment, the live band is like the strongest that it's ever been. So kind of want to capture that power and energy in this recording. So we've started doing that. We've written tons and tons of songs. I don't know how many songs, like 30 or so songs, but we're probably not going to use many of them for this record because we always sort of like throw away anything which, at least, you know, I don't know, if I don't think that it sounds like something that I would really want to listen to, and even still, by the time the record comes out, then it doesn't really ever get released on anything. So yeah, so we're gonna, when we get back from this tour, the hopes was to play some of these new songs on this tour, as well as maybe even come up with some more ideas, and then when we get home we'll have played as much as we possibly could, almost every single day for 2 months. So then it'll be the perfect time to do the final recordings. We needed a drummer for this tour that we had coming up, and we really had exhausted our possibilities. We'd tried everyone we possibly could. And just as sort of a gag, we had this song that's at like 260 BPM or something like that, and it's like really fast. And apparently like the drummer from Slayer or something like that can only play at like 245 or something. So we just always thought this was impossible. And of all the people who would always try out, we would throw them this song to just be like, you know, hey, can you play this song? You know, let's see what you can do. Because we recorded it with a drum machine, because nobody can play that fast. And we showed it to Robbie, and he just played it that fast. And so we were like, damn, or at least I was like, holy smokes, that's insane.
The last band I was in before this was Trouble Andrew, and he's this guy Trevor Andrew is a retired pro snowboarder, married to Santi White of Santiago, and it's kind of similar to that, but a little more skate rock-ish, but it's playing along to backing tracks, you know, and not so much my thing, you know. It was fun, and I enjoyed it, and the people were really cool, and I kind of knew Trevor from snowboarding back in the day and stuff, and I like listening to the stuff too, but I felt kind of trapped and not challenged musically or physically, which is part of why I really love this band. So I quit the band, I moved to Seattle, but I was only there a month before I started playing with these guys. But this has been probably the biggest challenge, physically, mentally, emotionally, and skill-wise to playing with them, because the guitars and bass are really, really loud, and I can't just turn a knob and to make my drums louder, So it's been physically just exhausting, but in a good way.
We're gonna break him.
Before I was, they have already broken me once.
Yeah.
I got tendonitis in my wrist.
We're gonna break him again.
How it happened was kind of an accident. It was a friend of a friend was filling in for their old drummer Jay, and then he just couldn't do it anymore, so I came and tried. I sent them my information and stuff, and Dion called me and sent me some songs, and I'd never heard the music before. I'd heard of them many years ago through a buddy of mine, and he sent me some of their stuff, and I never listened to it. Sorry guys. But I'd always heard about them, and so I knew the name and stuff, and then Dion sent me probably 15 songs or something, and he's like, oh yeah, just, choose some or whatever, and I didn't really learn any of them. But so I went one day and we jammed on a few songs, and then they're like, oh yeah, okay, we're gonna try out some other people and we'll get back to you. So I was thinking, oh man, that's it, fuck, I'm not getting it.
You weren't getting it, yeah?
Yeah, and then
We tried everything.
I was against it.
then they called me back a few days later and sent me more stuff, and we jammed for less time the second time, and they left the room and they said, okay, we want you to do this tour with us. And I was like, what? When they left the room, they were like, oh, we're done if you're good. I was like, oh, I guess. We only played 2 or 3 songs. Like, shit, okay, I guess I didn't get it, man, alright. Packing up my stuff, then they come back and they're like, we want you to do it.
We're with Dead Oceans, which is this label where the head of Dead Oceans is based in Austin, Texas. And they're part of this trifecta of labels, Secretly Canadian and Jaguar and Dead Oceans. And they're just, I really love Mute, and it was great being on Mute, but EMI went bankrupt for about a day, and that enabled all of their contracts to run out. So they didn't have any of their contracts. So we were able to not break our contract because there was no contract. And even though Mute asked us to sign again, we just decided to try something else, because why not? And so Dead Oceans is this really awesome label, which is kind of a little bit more our kind of label, where they sort of just do everything themselves in-house and are really all about music and really hands-on, and it seemed like a good idea. And they, as well as Mute, they give us the freedom to do whatever we want, including the artwork for the record. I guess for the most part they've been me and Dion kind of took the photos for worship, and
we did a video ourselves, and they actually really liked it.
Yeah, that was good. For one of our songs, we filmed a video in Central Park, and
Well, for a
in
couple
my
songs.
house. Oh yeah, a couple songs. One video is of us traveling around the world, and I did it all with Hipstamatic or something, one of those dumb,
Hipstamatic.
cheesy camera programs. But I got the idea because I plugged in my phone to my computer, and I was blasting some music, and then you're just watching the pictures load in, and it was just going to the music, just boom, 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 boom. And I was like, oh man, this would be so cool for a video. So then I just figured take one of the most accessible, programs on a phone or something at that time and turn that into the video. So it's got even footage of when we were here 2 or 3 years ago, we played in this exact same club and our van got stolen. And so there's the footage of us on that tour, which was this crazy spiraling dive down into insanity of a tour where we almost all died or whatever. But that was really fun. And so there's photos of that.
That was awesome.
And it was just kind of cool. There's sort of photos of kind of our journeys through about a year's worth of time right before Worship or the EP came out in 2012. When you're playing with a really good band, it makes all the difference in the world for our shows, because you kind of almost get excitement and inspiration. And so often we tour around and you play with these bands where it's some friend of the promoters or something, and most of the time maybe really nice people but miserable bands. So it was rad being on tour with Soviet. And then when we get back from this tour, they're actually playing in New York, I think the day we get back, so we're gonna go see them. I've been listening to a lot of different music on this tour. There's a bunch of good bands. The new OC's record is good. I like this band from Brooklyn called Grooms, which is a couple of my roommates are in this band. Bambara. This is the first band. This band that you're hearing right now, we brought with us from New York here because they're so awesome. And they're such a good band that we think everybody should hear them. So listen to Bambara.
I like the Italian band, I think they're called Guida. Guida, and they're very glam. They're a glam band.
I've been listening to a couple buddies of mine's bands a lot. This band Papa, they're kind of like Tom Waits meets Bruce Springsteen or something. The drummer sings, and he's a great drummer, a good friend of mine, Darren. And his brother's band, Slang Chickens, are pretty cool. Kind of like country, punk rocky sort of band. But also I've been lately trying to listen to stuff I wouldn't listen to for inspiration for writing the record.
JT.
I got this 20 greatest country hits or something I found on the street right before tour. Been listening to some really old country music and some big band Count Basie stuff.
I love old country.
Just to hear something else.
I'm a big fan of free downloads. I don't know, a lot of people aren't or something, but I feel music is, not about making money. It's about, sharing expression, and art should be free for people to look at, and music should be free for people to listen to if they want to. There is, it's nice to support the arts, but if you can't support it, or you don't, if you're not if you can't afford to do these things, you shouldn't have to pay big amounts of money to be able to go to cool underground events and be able to listen to music. And there's lots of stuff that maybe I wouldn't buy, which I'll download illegally or for free, and then if I really like it, I'll want to own the vinyl or something that I want to really listen to something. So being someone who's poor, it's nice to be able to check out artists even from all over the world from the internet and stuff. I mean, now people kind of cloud all of these free downloads with all this promotional bullshit all over the place, and so it's kind of annoying, but it's still, there's the possibility for some band who is just people who are just trying really hard, you know, and making something truly awesome and beautiful to be heard by anyone. So I'm a big fan. Hello, la Nouvel, Papier. We're a place to bury strangers. There you go.
Yeah, that's it, right?